First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, El Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakurash, Thawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, for letting me do another video through His Spirit. Thawadi Yahweh, Ba'ashem El Shai, for giving us this truthful worms. Double honor to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the whole elect. Just a quick video on this article. It says countries like India and Israel are exhausted to stay cordial with Russia, and here's why. So let me pull this word up real quick, make sure I'm saying it right. Pull it up. Anxious, I like it. Anxious, which is worried to stay cordial with Russia, and here's why. So these nations, they're not with. Well, I'll read the article. It says India relies on Russian-made weapons. Israel needs Russia's corporations to strike inside Syria and Gulf of Arabia, and Gulf Arab states like to look to Russia to help manage the oil market. So these other countries rely on Russia. Despite outrage in Western capitals over Russian invasion of Ukraine, many other countries around the world, including some important U.S. allies and partners, have been reluctant to confront Russia or to support economic sanctions against Moscow. Experts and former U.S. officials say. So these countries, they're like, look, we backing them. We can't do nothing against Russia because, look, they are basically, they're helping us. It says a small number of countries have declared unequal backing for Russia since its forces rolled into Ukraine, including realms in Syria, Belarus, Eritrea, I believe that's, let me see. Let me pull it up. Nope, I'll do that. Okay, it's a South African country. It says North Korea, Cuba, and Venezuela, but a large list of governments, including China, have avoided using word invasion, abstain from UN votes. Let me see. Slovakia. Castigate, just a remend severely. So they're abstaining from the UN votes, which will basically dog shit on Russia, or decline to take part in punishing sanctions on Russia economy. So I just want to grab a few scriptures on that real quick. This is Ezekiel, and this is the main one. This is Ezekiel 38 and verse I'll just start at 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief priests of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesied against him, which is modern day Russia, where you have them today. Them Edomite Russians dwell. This is where they dwell, where these Japhites used to live. That's how you know this is speaking about Russia today. I will turn them back to what? That Cold War spirit, that USSR spirit, which fits this prophecy perfectly, because during the time in the USSR, Ukraine was a part of that. The Ukraine was a part of the USSR. I believe it's United Soviet. I'll just pull it up real quick. I don't want to mess it up. Let's see, USSR. Well, meaning, God damn it. It says United of Soviet Socialist Republic. And Ukraine was a part of that. And that's what the Lord is putting in their spirit and drawing them back to that spirit to take that land back. And I will bring thee forth and all thy armies, horses and horsemen, which is speaking about their guns, their weapons, their tanks, their machine, their trucks. Because if we're not using a horse and carriage anymore, but what we're using, what modern technology, which would be a similitude for a car, goddamn Humvee, a tank, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company of bucklers and shields, all of them holding swords, handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, Libya, with them, all of them with shields and helmets, Gomar and his band, and the house of Togomar of the north quarters, and all the bands of many people with thee. And that's the main point. Verse 7, be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be a guard, and be thou a guard unto them. And what is Russia is being a guard unto these nations, man. These nations are not trying to fuck with Russia. They're reluctant to. They're like, look, man, hey, they look, let them do what they're gonna do. Let them do what they're gonna do. We don't want no parts with that. But what, the U.S. is opposite to that. The U.S. is opposite to that, which is going to heat up more and more, and it's all going to ultimately lead into what? World War III. That's what it's ultimately going to lead up to, and it shows that Esau. These are all Edomites, man. Other than the smaller nations with heathens in there, but the two major powers right now are two Edomite powers, and that's Esau versus Esau, the Egyptian versus the Egyptian. This is Revelation 20 and verse 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loose out of his prison, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, which this devil did. Chiefly the devil here in the western part of the world has went out and deceived the entire inhabitants of the earth through what? Through his philosophy, through his fornication, through his wine, through Babylonianism, through Americanism, if that's a word. But what? How are they doing that? By spreading their philosophy throughout the globe, man. You could be a sodomite. And a lot of these other countries don't want that, man. They don't want this American philosophy pushed in their countries anymore. And these countries are all getting fed up, and now they got their big brother Russia. They got because there was a time where the U.S. was renowned and feared. Why? Because they had that nuclear technology. They had that bomb, man. But now all nations have that type of power. Majority of nations on this planet have that type of technology. So you lost your power. The Western Edomites have lost their strength, man, because everybody got that strong right hook now. Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sands of the sea. So it's going to be a war, man. This is all culminating to World War III. But first, of course, that chip is going to be pushed out across the world. But all these war talks. Hey, what did the Lord say? There shall be wars and rumors of wars. But I'll just grab it since I'm going to. This is Matthew 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So all these things must happen, man. All these things must happen upon earth. These little wars, these skirmishes, would going to ultimately turn into a hot war, because people are dying in Ukraine. They might not have it on the news media out here. That's why they canceled RT Today through on YouTube. But what? There's people dying over there, man. Dying. People trapped. But what? They're censoring it, man. They don't want people in the West over here to get worried. Why? Because they don't want that sense of World War III in their head. They want to keep everybody distracted. But what is happening, man? They want to keep everybody in a dumb, retard-ass state, man. And they don't want to tell them the truth that war is brewing, man. And it's only going to increase, man. It's only going to increase, and the world is only going to get tougher and tougher and tougher until the Lord returns, man. Because you got the chip coming, which they're going to force on the penalty of death. You got World War III. You got civil wars. You have a lot of these prophecies about to come to pass, man, and quick, man. Because as soon as that MOTB gets pushed, you might as well say hello, man. Because we at the kingdom, man. But this wars and rumors of wars are a part of it too. They're a part of it. They're a part of it too. I'm gonna close off with this. It's just something real quick. It's a quick article. Like I believe the elders in Dallas, they do a thing called News and Prophecy. It's just a quick news and prophecy. This is Revelations 9 and verse 11. And Lord, I hope this is edifying. And actually, I'll start at verse 2. One woe is past. We're speaking about World War I. That's why in this same chapter, Kaiser Wilhelm is mentioned. I believe in actually the verse above. And behold, there come two woes hereafter. Salakia, as I was saying. This is Revelation 9 and verse 10. And I'm going to close. It says, verse 12. One woe is past, and behold, the third woe. One woe is past, and behold, there cometh two woes more after. Speaking about World War I, World War II, and eventually World War III. It's all leading up to World War III. Let's do this. Because the scriptures prophesied major events, man. The scriptures is written. The scriptures is one of the best historical books, man. To be honest, this is Revelation 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, speaking about World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And World War III, you can see it's on its way. Hey, the prophecies aren't tearing anymore. We're at the end, man. We are truly at the end. But as soon as that MOTB gets rolled out 100%, because there's talks about it all the time about with Elon Musk chipping people. You have a whole company that's already been chipped. You have people in the military that's been chipped. The chip is here, man. It just hasn't been pushed to the masses and under the threat of death. But the chip is here. It's already here. It just hasn't been pushed out on the level as what the scriptures describe it. But it will. It will. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 3. For the vision is yet for a appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. So, we just got to wait and hold out just a little longer, because it's here, man. We just have to wait a little longer, and we'll be in the kingdom. So with that, all praise be to Yahweh, Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shemer Kakodash, and with that,